Hey, good morning there, sweet peas. Basic prepper mom Myra. Whoo! I don't want to get on about politics on here, but I just gotta talk. I just gotta talk about this. Everybody's talking about this. Look, I did not watch the State of the Union. As a matter of fact, my husband clicked on it last night. I heard about 30 seconds, and I told him, I will do anything if you change the channel right now. If you don't change the channel, I will never do anything again. I'm just putting that out there right now. That's how strong I felt about not watching it. It literally made my skin crawl because of the stuff that he was saying. Not because of who he is, whatever, but because of the stuff that he was saying. Now, I've seen little bits and pieces that people started posting last night on, what he was saying in certain subjects and areas and things like that. The fact that he got booed a lot. The fact that he got called a liar, like flat out, like you could audibly hear it. And the fact that when he was talking about the whole fentanyl thing and the problem with fentanyl, that someone yelled out, "You did this," or "It's your fault. It's your fault." One of those two things. He looks over in that general area and then smiles. Y'all. And I won't even go into the chick behind him. Now look. I believe in being respectful. Doesn't matter my political views, doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter what I believe in. I believe that there are certain positions that require respect. Doesn't matter if you agree with it or not, you need to be respectful. And I try to teach my kids that. My girls have a bit of a temper, not gonna lie, and not a bit of a temper. They tend to be very justice driven. Let's put it that way. They are very much, if something is unjust in whatever situation, they will fight. Because if they don't feel it's right, they're gonna fight. Anyway. But I try to teach them to be very respectful no matter what the situation. And so I've tried to remain somewhat respectful of the fact that he is the president and she is the vice president of the United States in a very high position, blah, 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 blah. Every day it gets harder and harder to do. Every day it gets harder and harder to do. And after last night, and after the blips that I've seen, I don't even have words, y'all. I don't even have words. So, without getting into the whole political thing, what does that mean for what we do? Well, honestly, first of all, it reiterates that what we're doing, or what I'm doing, is absolutely necessary and needed. Second of all, it reiterates that there is a purpose to everything that we are doing. It tells me that it's not going to get any better, and it will continue in this downhill spiral. So we need to do whatever we can to get ready. We need to just continue on our path, on our mission, prepare, do the best you can. I want to talk about security really quickly. So, gonna be honest, where we live, we have almost an acre, like barely shy of an acre, okay, which is not a lot, but it's enough to do what you got to do, kind of thing. However, we're kind of off a main road, and I don't like it, and it kind of bothers me. Now, when we first moved there, this main road was not really that busy. Over the last probably 4 years, I would say, it has got increasingly more and more traffic. So it does concern me about where we live. Now, we also do own a bare piece of property. It has a pond on it with fish, and it also has a well, which is amazing. But we have a piece of property that we bought. It's only 5 acres. I definitely would, I wanted minimum 10, but because I think the big draw was price, obviously, and the fact that it had 2 water sources on it was huge for me. Huge. Because I said, if I'm going to get a piece of property, bare property, I don't care about electricity or power, but it has to have a water source already on it. I need a water source, not just for myself, but for my animals. I need a water source. So this really checked off a lot of boxes, and it is quite out a ways. It's very difficult to find. So, you know, it's very secluded, which I like. So there's that. Ideally, I would want to be out on that piece of property when the crap hits the fan, but we can very easily put a storage container or something on there and be able to store our stuff out there, the majority of our stuff, and it can be a bug out location. It is fairly easy and fairly quick to get to if you know where you're going, what you're doing. So I'm not really too concerned about the fact that, you know, we wouldn't have access to it if there was, you know, if crap hit the fan. But where we're at right now, we have plans. We just were able, we've rented there for 11 years. We just were able to purchase it. We do have plans to completely fence the whole perimeter and to put gates up that will be able to be locked and secured. So it's not perfect. It's not ideal. We have some other plans that I don't want to discuss right now about food security and just security in general. We do have lights that we have kind of throughout the property. I have more that I need to put up as well. We have cameras. I'm just gonna put that. We have actually 3 trail cams on the property currently. So we're working toward a plan with where we're at right now, and also with our property. So if you live in an apartment, for example, you need to really look at your security plan for that too. Do you have a way to board up windows? Do you have a way to secure them? Not just board them up, but to secure them. Do you have a way to secure the door? Do you have a way to protect yourself? Do you have a way to store your things and store enough of your things? So there's kind of a lot of aspects that you can do now to prepare for if something goes bad. And yeah, you know what? And I've seen, and I know they're movies, but I've seen a lot of kind of doomsday movies that start out in an apartment or a townhome, or a house in the city. Very rarely have I seen, and there are a few out there, that, you know, crap hits the fan and somebody's on a farm out in the middle of nowhere and goes, oh, hey, well, and most of the time they're in the bigger cities. But what do? They stay there for a while and then they bug out, right? Well, you definitely need a bug in and a bug out plan. We have both of those. We are frantically working on securing all of that, but we do have a plan in place. So you need to really look at your security. You need to look at your food security, because if you are in a town situation, if you are in an environment where there's a lot of people around you and they know what you have, the first thing they're going to come do is come get your food, because that's going to be the number one thing. If crap hits a fan, worst case scenario, remember we talked about worst case scenario, people are going to, number one, going to get your food, go after your food. Because when people are hungry and starving, or their kids are hungry or starving, or there's a threat of them starving, people get kind of crazy, lose their mind. Totally a tidbit I'm gonna throw out there. I happen to be on a few social media pages for preparedness type people. And apparently there is a page, and I have not looked into it, I've not researched it yet, but apparently there's a page that's called, like, it's literally like werewolf preppers or something like that. And it's a complete page for people who have not prepared, who have not planned. Well, they plan. Their plan is specifically that if crap hits the fan, to go after those people who are preparing now. They don't have to worry about it. They don't have to do anything, but their plan is to completely 100% go after the people that are prepared right now, to seek them out, to attack them and take what they have. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess this is a real thing. Just something to keep in mind. Definitely want to secure things. Continue to do what you're doing. Food, water, medication. Food security is a huge thing. I can't stress that enough. Be self-sufficient. Figure out how to raise your own stuff. But that's what I have to talk about today. Once again, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out to me. Hope you have a wonderful, amazing day, and we'll talk to you soon.